Well, Ulysses, we're going to talk about something nasty, and that is nasty pitches on
That's
today's show.
right. So grab your baseball, get your grips in order, and let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss,
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
and we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure you check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Locked On Rays, as well as all the other podcasting platforms available. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Rays and send us a email or voice memo anytime, lockedonrays@gmail.com. So, nasty pitches. Ulysses, this idea came from one of our most dedicated and OG listeners, Austin Holloway. If you want to explain what we're going to be discussing partly on today's show.
Yes, this is definitely an Austin idea. He said, I was reading an article on MLB.com that could translate into an episode or a segment. He said they basically did a nastiest pitch on every team article, and that it would be fun for us to recreate a repertoire using any of the current pitchers on the Rays staff, starting and bullpen, and kind of see what we could come up with. Of course, I want to give him props for the idea. We're giving him props, but we're also going to say what his repertoire would be. He picked five. He picked five pitches. He went with Pete Fairbanks' four-seam, Glasnow's curveball, Shane's change, Adams' slider, and Kittredge sinker. So that is a mean combination. We kind of wanted to simplify it just a little bit. And you and I, Kevin, we have four pitches each. Is that correct?
That is correct. And do you want to go ahead and start it off with your four, your super foursome?
Let's do let's do that. So I picked. Do you want the total pitches, or do you just want one by one, and why?
One by one and why is perfectly fine. I don't think Austin would mind.
All right. So here we go. So I picked the four-seam fastball. I need to have that, and it would be Jason Adams. I need Jason's fastball. When you look at his 2022 output, they were hitting 211. Batters were hitting 211 off that fastball. He had an 86.2 exit velo, and out of the 5 home runs he allowed, only one of those came from the fastball. So that is the type of fastball that I'm looking for. Let me just
add to that real quick. So it's funny because before he got to the Rays, he was using that fastball roughly 57% of the time, and the Rays tapered that back for another couple of offerings, but it's still a really, really effective pitch. I just think he needed more balance in his repertoire, but his extension on that fastball, I read the other day, 6.7 feet.
Unreal.
That is extremely long extension. So, good for you on picking that pitch of his.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually really a really fun exercise. It's kind of like playing MLB The Show without actually playing MLB The Show. So that's my four-seam.
Yeah.
Jason Adams. For my changeup, I need a really good, strong changeup. So obviously, I had to go Jeffrey Springs. That's my pick for changeup. Again, we're looking at batting average 229. It might be a little bit higher than others, but what I did like, besides the exit velo of 83.4, was that he had 70 strikeouts on that changeup. 70. That's 48.6% of all of his strikeouts. So this is a dangerous pitch. This is something that you can put away, guys, when obviously they're in 2 strikes and you can get the strikeout, but you can honestly use it if you're behind in the count 2-0 and you feel confident with it. And if it's that good of a pitch, it can get you over. And who's looking for a 2-0 changeup? So Jeffrey Springs, that's my changeup.
Yeah, I'll just add to that because not to give away the farm here, but let's just say that changeup is popular among the Rays contingent. But Springs the changeup versus righties, not to be used versus lefties, or at least he just doesn't throw it versus lefties. And that's traditionally
Yeah,
how changeups are deployed, is against the opposite-handed batter versus pitcher.
exactly.
So.
Exactly. Okay, so we're 50% of the way done here with my repertoire. My third one, I needed a slider. And I know I have one starter, one guy from the pen. I went to the pen again, and this is a guy that I have been high on since they called him up. He just looks like the next big thing. I don't want to say the name because, although I will say he has just recently retired. I'll say that, and he very much reminds me of him. Jake McGee, Garrett Clevenger. I mean, can we just give him the Jake McGee 2.0 treatment, because he has amazing stuff. And if you look closely to that slider, again, let me look at the metrics that I've been talking about. Batting average against 146, exit velo 85.8. That's great. And 50% of all of his strikeouts was with, you guessed it, the slider. So 16 out of the 32 punchies, he got him on that slider. This is a very powerful pitch. I'm just really excited that we get to see Garrett Clevenger, hopefully for 50 plus innings.
Yeah, and great nod to Jake McGee. Very terrific career, and I think underrated career for what he did over the last decade plus. I mean, I think he played 13, 14 years in the league. And Garrett Clevenger, I think, while he is not on my list here, he's another one of those Rays finds where it's like, where did he come from? How did he get here? And what did the Rays do to him to make him so effective? So if you're a Rays fan, really look forward to what he may be able to provide in 2023.
Honestly, I'm so hyped up on Clevenger. I think that this guy very quickly will become a high leverage arm for the Rays. I mean, you talk seventh inning and you kind of need to get a couple outs. This is the guy you go to. Ninth inning, you need a save. Boom. This is the guy. Like, he's going to be kind of like a Jason Adam kind of arm for the Rays. That's what I think for 2023. And last but not least, I needed a big curveball. I needed it. I love a curveball. I mean, how can you not? It's such a fun pitch. Well, I have two guys from the stable. I have one starter. I kind of wanted to make it even. So here's another starter, and that's Shane McClanahan. His curveball is just nasty. Out of all of these pitches, actually, he has the lowest batting average on his particular pitch, 139. 84.8 exit velo. That's yummy. And 29% of his strikeouts were with the curveball. So this is a guy, we talked about it 2020, yes, after the postseason 2020, after 2021, and early 2022. Why is he just trying to use fastball slider? Right. You have 4 pitches, Shane. Use them all. And then after the fourth or so start of the 2022 season, he started mixing all of his pitches. And then what happened? He became a really good pitcher. He became an all-star. He became the starter of said game. So this is the kind of pitch that you need to have to kind of complement the four seam, the changeup, the slider. You need that big hook. I'm going with McClanahan.
Very good. I love your list right there. And it's funny because I have, I believe, some similarities with you and Austin, and I'd love to know what the listeners have to say too. Might be a question or a comment to put out on our Twitter account, social media. Just list your four guys and your 4 pitches. And you know what, if you want to get really, I mean, we don't really have any rules to this thing. It could be maybe you see 3 fastballs that you really like, and then somebody has a change. It doesn't necessarily, hey, it has to be 4 different pitches. We just said the 4 nastiest pitches. Maybe that's 3 sliders, 3 changeups, 3 fastballs, whatever it may be. So just throwing that out there. So in the comment section of YouTube, social media, or if you want to tell us at FanFest, you can do that as well. I will tell you my nastiest 4, but Ulises, we have to tell you something, or we have to tell the audience about something that is the antithesis of nasty, and that is Built Bars.
Oh, what a great segue. Yes, you know what? It's so healthy and delicious. Okay, so if you want a delicious treat, but you don't want all of the fat and calories, then you gotta try Built Bar. You can ask yourself, what makes Built Bars so good? Well, for starters, they're all covered in 100% real chocolate. Yeah, I told you, real chocolate. I've been saying it for more than 3 years now. It's amazing. And they've got unbelievable flavors like churro, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond. You want it, you have it. And now you don't have to wait around anymore to get a box. We've been telling you to go to built.com for so many years. Well, now you don't even have to wait for that package to come. You can actually go to Walmart and then pick a box of Built Bars. You can go to Sam's Club and pick yourself some Built Bars as well. So today, get yourself something really delicious, really good for you, and that is Built Bar.
Very good. And just to before I get into my four here, that article, if you have not had a chance to look at that, I would implore you to check it out and read it. I'll just run through here the AL East of what MLB.com put out. Kevin Gossman's splitter for the Blue Jays, Felix Bautista's splitter for the Orioles, Chris Sale's slider for the Red Sox, Carlos Rodon's four-seamer for the Yankees, and of course, Tyler Glasnow's curveball for the Rays, which, again, I know it's low-hanging fruit and maybe cheating to some extent, but Glasnow's hammer curve is one of my four nastiest pitches. And again, I just so enjoy watching him throw that thing. It starts at a guy's neck and ends at a guy's ankles. And I could just watch replay after replay of that. I don't really have any stats in front of me. I just know that I had to put that on my list somewhere. And maybe it's one of those things where if he had pitched a full season, maybe it would have made your list. It very possible, I guess, depending on how the output was with that.
No, definitely. I mean, I wanted to put Glasnow either on the fastball category or the curveball. But yeah, looking at the numbers, I had to go with Shane's there. But it's a beautiful pitch. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. And definitely the sample size obviously mattered. So when you're looking at the numbers, yeah, I had to go that way. Yeah.
So I've got the curveball out of the way. Now with the fastball, I'm going with Pete Fairbanks and his 99 mile per hour cutting, rising fastball, where you combine that with the crazy eyes and the stature and how he knuckles it in his hands. And I've got some stats for you too. He throws it 61% of the time. He has a 118 batting average against. He's 99th percentile in all of baseball and fastball velo, 96th percentile in all of baseball and fastball spin, 38% whiff rate on that pitch. It's just really, nearly impossible to hit where it's coming from him, top of the zone. And again, I know it's cliche to say, but it literally looks like it is rising. I know that defies physics and that's incorrect to say, but you watch that on YouTube or a television clip, whatever it may, it's like, how is that not rising?
Yeah, no, it definitely is a very, very good pitch. I made it harder on myself by not wanting to copy Austin. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. And he appreciated that. So no, but I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with his fastball, especially with the kind of output that he had in 20 plus innings last year. But I do want to make it clear that you do not get to take the crazy eyes nor the attitude with this pitch. That is sold separately, Kevin.
Okay.
You only get the fastball. You do not get the crazy eyes.
That's fair. I can't add any of the performative or theatrics to it. I understand.
No. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough. Standing alone, it is a wonderful pitch.
Yeah.
The changeup, again, I think I'm just going with chalk here, and Jeffrey Springs is what I have. Threw it 35% of the time. Again, he changed and altered to Rays help to utilize that more often. And just thinking about it, of four nastiest pitches, you have Fairbanks 99 mile per hour fastball, then you throw a 81 mile per hour change off of that, and letting it dive down and in versus righties. The 38% whiff percentage, like that, 26% put away percentage. And I saw this on FanGraphs with that pitch from Springs. It was third best in all of baseball with a 57% O swing percentage. So outside of the zone swings on that pitch.
That's just nasty. I remember when Fernando Rodney was obviously with the Rays, he had that terrific 2012 season. Brian Anderson always made a point that once you get to 10-mile-an-hour differential between your fastball and your changeup, that's when you're going to start making guys take silly swings, like blooper type of America's Home Funniest Videos, whatever that Bob Saget show used to be called.
Yeah.
those are the kind of swings that you're going to start to see. Now you're putting a 99 mile an hour rising fastball from Pete Fairbanks, and then you're attaching it to Springs that you said 81 mile an hour. I mean, the types of swings that you would be able to see would just be silly.
Right. Yeah. And then my fourth pitch, slider. I don't know. Am I copying Austin with all these? I can't remember. I did not know what he put forth previously, by the way. So this was all off of my research. No plagiarism here. Jason Adam and his slider. Again, that is now his most utilized pitch, at least in a Rays uniform. And just the ability to, when he throws it, particularly against righties, where he'll start it, and when it releases from his hand, it is at the inner corner of the plate. And when it finishes, it winds up on the outer corner, outer third. So getting those chases on that pitch really makes a difference. And again, it's maybe not as flashy as Tyler Glasnow's curveball or Pete Fairbanks' fastball, but it is a sneakily effective and really good pitch.
It is arguably the best pitch of that repertoire, honestly. I mean, 96 was the batting average against. You heard me right, folks. 96.096. That's a tremendous pitch. And he had a whiff percentage of 46.1% on that pitch. Just realize that. They're whiffing almost 50% of the time.
Yeah.
That's silly. That's great. That's a great pitch.
And that doesn't include called third strikes, right? Or a called strike on that pitch, where you just buckles the opposition because it's like, well, I thought that was going to be inside, and it winds up outside, and he pinpoints it somewhere within the strike zone.
And if you have enough command of the zone and of that pitch, like I said earlier on the show, you're 2-0. You don't want to give the guy the fastball because he's hunting for that. You put that pitch on an outside corner. I mean, and you paint like he painted in 2022. That can get you out of a lot of trouble, which, by the way, with these repertoires that we've made up, I don't think you would be in a lot of trouble. But if you were, you could definitely get out of it. And I do want to say that people that are watching on YouTube, hit that like button right now. It's free. And you're going to feel like an awesome person. And then subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, because it's going to even make you feel even better than you do already. And hit the comment section. Give us at least 2 pitches. Give us at least 2 pitches from the current race staff that you would like to have, or that you would like to see the mix, like we're doing this exercise today. At least 2, because if you want to be a reliever, at least you need a fastball slider, fastball change, something like that. At least 2. Don't be that guy. I know there's going to be one guy, because I've just said it. There's going to be one guy that's just going to give me a 1 pitch. Don't do that. Give me 2. Come on.
And with this exercise, I wish that, the Rays had like a Zach Greinke, so he could throw in a Ulises pitch, or, somebody throws a screwball or a forkball, or,
the Francisco Mejia slow pitch. Does that count?
Yeah, there we go. Like, it'd be fun to have more of those types of guys, R.A. Dickey, something along those lines to kind of include in this. Maybe just the most obscure pitches. That might be the next exercise there, which putting you on the spot here, but do you have an idea of what you consider to be the nastiest pitch in all of baseball?
Oof. That whatever it is that a slider? Is that a changeup by Devin Williams?
Yeah.
That's a wiffle ball. I don't think it's a slider or a curveball or a change. I think it's just a wiffle ball that he throws.
Yeah.
That comes from a balloon from outer space. That's where that comes from. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's some. Again, just go to who is it? Rob Friedman on Twitter, Pitching Ninja. Just go through, and a lot of Rays have made appearances on that thing. But
what about you? What's your nastiest pitch?
Well, I was looking at the article, and I know that we've been on the receiving end of Shohei Ohtani's splitter, but when I read that Jacob deGrom has a slider that reaches 96 miles per hour, that's insane. And I also there's something about me where where a guy who can consistently throw 100 miles per hour multiple times in an outing. I know it may not be the nastiest pitch per se, but I'm just impressed by it. Like what Hunter Green can do, where 15 times in a game, he'll, throw 100, 101, 102, maybe even 103. That's pretty remarkable as well. And probably something we're going to see more often as the technology and the training and the nutrition, gets to peak level and peak performance there. Yeah. But I also have a soft spot in my heart for the Glasnow curveball as well. So I won't forget that one anytime soon. It is a Friday episode, which means we have baseball trivia and Name That War. But first, we have to tell you about FanDuel. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now it's the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. That's because new customers get a no-sweat first bet for up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. So just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from the money line to point scores and threes drained. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay if you're feeling fancy. So don't miss the chance to get your no-sweat first bet for up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/locked-on. That is FanDuel.com/LOCKEDON to learn more. You'll make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, Ulises, let's get right into it. You have baseball trivia for me, and I have Name That War for you. If I would have thought of it ahead of time, I would have had a war comparison of two players, but I might have to save that for a future episode. So I just have one name on my sheet here. But yammering aside, let's get right into it.
I do hope that it's not a guy that retired in 1994, like you've been doing lately.
So no, this individual players, start Googling, start Neuralinking me. He played into his mid 2000s.
All right,
I would say.
I'll trust you. All right.
Yeah.
But before we do Name That War, we got to do baseball trivia, and me, Kevin, and the listeners and the subscribers on YouTube, I love the World Baseball Classic.
Hang on. Pause. You're going to rag on me for a Name That War. I really hope this isn't a what side of the dugout does the home team reside in? I hope it's not one of those questions.
It was the off season. Give me a break. Okay.
By the way, this player I have in my Name That War, he retired in 2007. So this is fair game.
Okay, I hope so. I love the World Baseball Classic. I'm so hyped about it. I cannot get enough of it. We're actually going to do a little World Baseball Classic kind of episode next week, so stay tuned for that. Yes. So this is a little primer. Okay, World Baseball Classic trivia. Kevin, the first World Baseball Classic happened in 2006.
Okay.
I want you to name 5 guys from the USA lineup on that 2006 team. Can you do that for me?
So it has to be a position player, so a pitcher.
If you want to, no pitcher. So if you want to give me the position along with the player, I think everybody would be very impressed. But that's not what I'm holding you to.
Okay, so it has to be that starting lineup. I have to get, what'd you say, 6 of the 9?
5. No. 5
5.
of the 9.
5
Yeah.
of the 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
Over
Considering
50% is what I'm asking. Yeah.
I've paid very, very, very little attention to the World Baseball Classic, like so little.
Go to the
Um,
06 Kevin and then the baseball world in 2006. So the White Sox had just won. Ozzie Guillen had become the first Venezuelan manager to win the World Series. We're getting into the spring training,
Yeah.
and then this is when this is happening. So give me
Okay.
that lineup.
It's so tough because I wonder if guys get invited if they played in the thing. Okay. Next player. Okay. Paul Canerico.
Think bigger, strike one.
Okay. Think bigger. See, I don't know if this guy would have played for America.
1, 2, 3. I count 3 Hall of Famers.
Okay.
One that should be.
Follow up.
Yeah.
Were any of these players born in another country?
No.
Okay, so they are American.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah, they were born in America. Yeah, natural
Okay.
born. Yeah.
2006. I'm gonna say Jim Tomei.
Strike 2. Good one though.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right, I'm going to say a guy who was inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, Scott Rowland. Ooh,
Foul tip, but come
Okay.
on. Give me one. Just get us one.
I mean, this is like really, really big. Some of these names.
I mean, okay, I'm just going to give you shortstop. In 2006.
Derek Jeter.
Yes, very
Okay.
good. Okay.
Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Now I'm on a roll here.
There you go.
Catcher.
You're not going to get the catcher.
Okay. Interesting. I'm not going to get the catcher.
I know.
You say that, and I'd be like Jason Kindle, but I'm not going to use that as my guess.
It's another Jason, but like, yeah.
Okay. Shot in the dark here. Jim Edmonds.
Okay, that was actually a pretty good shot in the dark. Incorrect. I'll run right through. Batting leadoff, Michael Young at second base. Derek Jeter, shortstop. Ken Griffey Jr. Remember him? Center field. A-Rod, DH.
I just assumed Ken Griffey Jr. was hurt or injured at that point.
Wow, shade.
Yeah.
Batting fifth, Chipper Jones, third base. Derek Lee, first base. Michael Barrett, remember when he fought Zambrano at Wrigley Field? He's behind the dish. Vernon Wells, left field. And Randy Wynn in right field. That was the lineup. And the pitcher, Roger Clemens, the Rocket.
Wow. Randy Wynn, Devil Rays, great, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually disappointed because I should have gotten more names. I should have thought Chipper Jones. I would have never gotten Derek Lee. Probably would have never gotten. Yeah, I should have gotten a couple more, I would say.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
So now I don't feel so bad about this Name That War, despite this guy retiring in 2007. His first name is Rondell. His last name is White. What is his Name That War?
Nothing. I could give you 17 different chances, and I'm not going to get this at all. This is like a Michael Barrett behind the dish in the 06 Classic.
Yeah.
Randall White?
Rondell White.
Rondell White. See, I don't even know this.
Outfielder.
Outfielder. Can you give me how many years he played?
He played.
Oh, he played
15 years.
All right.
8 of them with Montreal.
8 of them with Montreal? Oh, my God. A dead team?
Yeah.
You're giving me dead teams. Okay. I'm going to be so mean to you with Name That War next time.
I mean, you can pick a dead team, the Devil Rays, for Name That War.
Rondell White. I'm going to go with 13.7.
Okay, so that is your final guess.
Yes.
He played 15 years.
Yeah.
He played in 1,474 games. He was a one-time All-Star.
Okay.
Before I give his WAR, I'm going to run through some other numbers here. 284 career batting average, 198 home runs,
Okay.
1,519 hits, 296 doubles, 768 RBI, 799 career OPS, 108 career OPS plus.
I don't feel that bad about him. Okay. Was he a really good glove? I don't think so.
It doesn't show him as a terrific glove, but I'm sure he was serviceable out there.
Ooh, did I get it right?
You are cutting him very short. He more than doubled your guess. 28.2 career WAR.
28.2? So he was fantastic in the outfield. What are
He
you talking
was-
about?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean, he also was really solid with the bat. I mean, he hit 300 or greater in 4 consecutive seasons from 1998 to 2001. So he could, I think part of the issue was, playing in the midst of the steroid era. He was just kind of ho-hum in comparison to others. Nowadays, it'd be like, man, Rondell White, he'd be a 4 or 5-time All-Star already.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I think, and he probably started to, we were probably, we missed probably the peak of his career. We were very young then.
Yeah.
And then he was more of a role player, I think, later on. So maybe that's where that bias sets in, and some injuries as well. But yeah, had a terrific career. Also hit for the cycle as well.
Well, and also, I mean, he wasn't like a huge pop guy, He didn't have a lot of home runs, 28, 22, 17, 14, 22.
Yeah, he was like a 17 to 22 guy.
But I still like the strikeout ratio. I mean, you're looking at a guy that in 15 years had a 15.8 strikeout rate.
Yeah.
Not bad.
He only struck out more than 100 times once in his career. And defensively, for whatever this is worth, he led the league in putouts in 1997, twice led the league in fielding percentage as an outfielder, and retired with a 989 fielding percentage as a center fielder and 985 fielding percentage as a left fielder. So, those basic numbers, he came out solid. Never won a Gold Glove, which, it is what it is. I'm sure a lot of that is tied into, if he would have hit 30 home runs and, stole 30 bases, he probably would have had a couple Gold Gloves to his name.
Funnily enough, the years that he had 3.8 WAR, 4.8, 3.5, 3.0, he was never an All-Star. And then he was an All-Star when he had a 2.0 WAR season and a 0.9 WAR season. I see the All-Star nominations sometimes are just silly.
Yeah, it really is. So there we go.
Good.
All right. That is our Friday show. We'll be at FanFest on Saturday and back with more episodes on Monday as well. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will hopefully see you on Saturday. Have a good one.